Also, I already know what I'm for acquisition. I have to send you the beat for level 8.
Gotcha. Yeah. It's not in D&D Beyond?
It is.
Oh, okay.
I would send it to you.
I can only imagine what it must be. Every time you send me something, it's I
it's
make sausage out of my poo-poo. Or,
you
know, I should give you a pet that's trapped in a rock permanent.
A sentient being that got trapped in a rock.
I already have, but
it can never be free.
Yeah. If it's exposed to air, it immediately dies.
I already have a pet.
Or no, even better. If it's exposed to air, a 9th level fireball.
It's 500 pounds, and if it doesn't move 2 feet once a day, it dies.
Ah!
I already have pets.
It's Ivar on a couch.
It's Ivar Cross, baby.
Ivar Gravity like triples his weight.
But he drank all of the beer this time.
Yeah, well, he couldn't share the beer with me because I can't drink beer anymore. So.
No, I mean, past couple of
weeks. So ciders.
Barely did.
Mead, ciders, wines, and liquor. Really it for me. There's only certain alcohols I like and only certain wines I like. Yeah. And I'm not a sweet mead drinker. I like dry.
Okay.
Like really, really dry, sour meats.
I got a couple.
She's the sweet tooth freak, not me.
I have a couple of meats that you might like.
Can you check the audio for me?
Maybe some more mushroom cocktail.
No. Diarrhea is not a pleasant feeling. I know it's savory, but it's gross. What was the other one? Bell pepper vodka that Yari had?
No, Yari made bell pepper, horseradish, all kinds of crap. They made smoked cheddar cheese.
Now, the horseradish vodka in a shirt or a Bloody Mary would be good.
Yeah. It's this last batch he did was right in the middle between sweet and spicy. Because he did one for really long.
It was a little too spicy for me in Callista. The red Bloody Mary mix was a little too spicy. And I
gluten free.
There you go. All about the glutenides.
I was reading it, and then I'm like, oh, bold letters right there, gluten free.
All about the glutenides.
All right, our microphones are on.
No scratchity scratch. That's because our player with the 2,500 megawatt traveling battery is not here.
Did you see the?
I'm surprised he doesn't play a Warforged. Like, if Biggin dies, I'm gonna make a Warforged.
Scoot this back.
So I'm more in frame.
Yeah, so we're both in frame.
Well, I'd ask Rachel to be
that.
more in frame, but she likes to be a sloucher. So I'm just going to let her slouch. Like,
Yeah,
fuck you, old man. I like slouching. What I do. That's equal translation.
Are you here tomorrow?
Yeah, that's really what the cushions are for, is to like
Okay.
elevate your shoulders a bit so you don't look like a munchkin.
And
Yeah, I don't
by
care
on my way to bring you.
Okay. You can actually get
the light.
a little more that way. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. Right there. Oh, now you're being a fucker.
I'm always being a fucker.
Now you're being
it's just your
a
tolerance
fuka.
that changes.
Being a fuka.
You gonna fuck on me? I'm gonna fuck on you.
What are your names? Fuck me and fuck you. I love that Austin Powers one. Fuck a who? Fuck a me? Fuck a you?
Bulk buy.
Yeah, it's going to expire.
What's gonna expire?
It's all right. Flonase.
It's all right. It's all right.
They got.
I don't know. That's a sizable schnoz you have there.
Pro business.
Dig deep. Use it all in one pump. Get that, what do they call that? That Benadryl high from it.
And we got the Costco supply.
Oh my God, have you watched the new South Park?
Not yet.
Rachel's doing one tomorrow.
Can I come if I dress up?
Dress up like
We're gonna
what?
start sending him that one country guy that does drag. Like, he dresses up in drag, does the makeup, but he doesn't take. He has a full on like Tom Selleck
He
mustache.
like acts like a redneck, and then after my house is done, totally have a girls' night. We'll get Jason out for a bit.
Jason, come over.
It's fine with me.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can go over to Kyle's house.
Oh, Kyle's kind of creepy.
Yeah, you like that.
No, I don't. Maybe in a leather dress, like flogging me, but I don't know about casual conversation.
Like I said,
Yeah,
you like that.
Look, I'll whip out the
There's
Dr.
a
Frankenfurt.
word.
You'll whip out.
There's a word.
I'll whip out the Frankenfurt outfit.
There's a word.
No, the
You bastard.
The current discussion is my parents might convert the garage into a granny flat
Do a bit of
And
an
then-
addition. To
and
it.
then add on to it, and then we take the house.
I think that's a brilliant idea.
Gives us more square footage.
And you can
House
stay
when-
in a
when we
normal
finally-
state and not go to one of the, short bus states. I know that's not PC, but I don't care.
That was like very PC. So
No, I still have to
We
talk
get the
to my
house.
boss about it because he might be sending me to Tennessee for one of our specific clients. But
Well,
yeah,
that sounds X-rated. See that hesitation?
I do tech support. It is very PG,
I wonder.
But the amount of
except for some
The amount of
stuff that
times
they
we've
just
had to
walk
send-
into.
send our Chad places.
Send our Chad. You have a
Yeah.
Chad?
Yeah, we have a guy named Chad. I call him the nuke because anything that blew up, I'm like, Chad, can you go fix this?
it's the
Go and
chat.
fix it.
The Chad.
That's,
What's that
that's
movie
why I
from?
had that meeting.
What was that?
Charlie's Angels.
I was
Charlie
going
Daniels,
to-
that's right.
I was going to have it
The
painted.
Chad.
I was going to paint it, and then I was going to put his name on it, of course,
The Chad was great.
and
The
give it to
Chad
him
was
during
great.
Christmas for the
The Chad
company's
was
like
great.
award ceremony.
I cannot remember that. That
Something green.
Something green.
Yeah.
Yeah. What
Yep,
is
now
his?
it's all his.
He was
Because-
did a lot of MTV comedy for a while.
Yeah.
It had a weird show, like a series of weird shows.
Not Seth Green.
No.
Tom Green.
Tom Green.
Tom Green.
Yeah, I think it's Tom.
Yeah, so he said MTV, series of weird
Yeah.
shows, Tom Green.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
Nobody can watch you.
Yeah. Well, and the last thing I saw him doing, he was in a travel van with his dog doing bits about traveling around the country. That he may still be doing that for all I know on YouTube. I'm not sure. I think I saw that like 1 or 2 years ago. I saw him doing that.
I still need to sew in the ends.
What's wrong?
But
Oh, she finished my scarf.
Did she get locked out?
The dog.
Birdie powder, bouncing powder, Bolivian marching powder, low stash, girl, snow, star, stardust, she,
Schneef.
What are you Googling?
forest bump,
Forest
build a
bump.
snowman.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Sure.
Do you want to do some lines?
Will you help me hide a
You want
body?
to build a snowman? Yes, but I can't.
Doesn't have to be in one piece.
Do you want to itch your empty scratches? Put salve on your swords.
Hey man, I just need a little of that illuminated shard, man.
Oh my god, I was
Man.
getting ready this morning. I was
Luminary
counting all the ant bites on my body.
Ooh,
Oh,
yeah.
Second yesterday was rough.
Yeah, pack up was rough. One of the rougher pack ups we've had because the weather.
Our the tree that our tent goes underneath, it touches the top of the tent.
Yeah,
So the ants were crawling. The ants were crawling all along the top, and then it was bad.
so pack up was just letting them swarm you as you had to move the canvas and everything. It's just- you left them alone, it didn't matter. They just
Yeah.
did their thing.
Was it
Was
the
it
scout
down-
ones or the little tiny ones?
The little tiny 3/4 black with a little
Oh,
bit of red
yep.
top,
Yeah.
so not traditional fire ants. ants.
The California fire ants.
The ones don't hurt as much, yes. Because the Texas fire ants, which are like the size of a nail, bright red, and they kill everything else. And they wipe out like all the organic matter within like a 10 square foot area when they
There was some about half-inch long black ones in our camp.
carpenter ants. Those are harmless.
Yeah.
They're pretty harmless.
They're harmless unless you step on their thing.
Yeah, my
bite
mom
that shit.
got beaten up by carpenter ants.
Yeah, they're harmless as long as you leave them alone. They're
Yeah.
not because they're not big.
No, they were chill.
They're not big nests. They tend to be small
Yeah,
nests.
she was trying to get rid of their nest because it was right where she was planting her trees at.
Yeah, that's hard.
So she got,
They are destructive to trees and like organic material, though.
Yeah.
they turned her. No, I got attacked by the little fire ants, the California ones.
Yeah,
Because
they hurt, but they're not too bad. It's
They
those
they
big
keep
Texas red
getting
ants.
they keep getting into our house.
Really, they
Yeah.
normally don't like to go into a house.
Nope, they keep getting into our house, and one of them was when it was when Coco passed away.
What over there?
They were eating her body.
Oh,
Yeah, she
they
passed
buried
away. We
her
didn't know
nearby.
about. Yeah, we didn't know about it.
realize that she had passed
You
away.
never bury an animal near your house.
Oh no.
Well, no.
Well-
she was still inside of her cage,
Yeah,
and
she passed away. We didn't know. Like right after we cleaned
so
the cage,
they were
the-
attracted to the condition that you
Yeah.
found her in.
and
Yeah, that's-
so I was. Every time I walked past the cage, they were getting on me,
And
they
then we're
were
like, what
more
the
at
heck?
me.
rat.
I had ants kill my snake once. I had a rosy boa,
Aw.
and oh my god, I was
The ants killed it.
no,
The ants killed Coco.
but
and
they were still
infestations
alive
can be
when I found
difficult.
when I found them, and they were, in the process of just age and
Yeah.
away.
They wanted the water.
It's possible, but they killed Coco because Coco was totally healthy, and then
The ants have freaked
I had
me out. If
crickets-
you ever see
I
a
had
picture of
crickets kill
them,
my tarantula once.
bullet ants.
My
Oh,
tarantula,
yeah.
They're called
had it-
bullet ants for
For
a
a
reason.
reason, yeah.
and it
Like when
always
they
shed.
bite you, it feels like
Like
you've been
you got
shot.
shot.
It always shed in like
The
October.
cool thing about them
And
is
she didn't
just
shed, and she didn't
in
shed,
a
and she didn't shed.
survival
I'm like,
situation,
okay,
you
well,
ever
we
come
gotta,
across them, you
she has
cash.
to eat. So I
You
put the
make it
crickets
bite
in,
you and you
and then
pinch
she
its head
decided
off,
to
it'll
shed.
start that.
Oh, like a
She was
suture.
in
Yeah, I've heard
the
that.
middle of molting.
Their mandibles are so strong,
When
so resilient, they can
I
suture a
still have
wound
those.
closed.
oh, I bet.
they got
Crazy.
flushed out.
It was I'm probably whoever's watching might correct me on this, but it was I think it was dual survival that actually like hey these are bullet ants and they kind of showed like they made a
Maybe.
little cut,
Yeah.
and then one of the guys like and this is how you do it.
They say that potato bugs are harmless,
I
but
have a
something that looks like that.
No.
Sheer terror is not harmless.
Yeah.
That is an alien creature.
Yeah,
Alien.
Yeah. The
Right up there with
the face looks
octopus.
like Predator.
Yeah.
Really. It
Yeah.
does.
Ugh, that and,
So- Hi, everybody. We've been gaggling. We haven't seen each other for a while. So we are Shattered Kingdom tonight, the Adventures of Calisha. And we're kind of at a major point as last episode or last session, we had a couple interesting reveals. After the team had survived their encounter with the nearby or dealings of their spy and recovery activity in the Arakokran city,
Thank you.
they finally made their way back eventually to the Mired Valley and the house of Takit, the estate of Takit. And here in the Mired Valley, the mired townscape that sits at the base of the cliffside dwelling of the estate, they welcome themselves home. Coming back to after being gone for a particularly long period of time and beginning to experience things are beginning to change in this particular area with the inclusion of the wild tribes that were rescued by the team some time ago. It has allowed the mire to kind of open itself up to hunting and, more importantly, mining has been kind of becoming an interest in the Mired Valley again. As individuals from Crown Spire have been making forays of merchant and trades activities during the absence of Tikit. But upon the return, it's been day 4 since the travels, since the recovery of the items from the salt mines. And now that we're back into the estate, there's been some planning around the idea that something out there, someone or some organized force is attempting to destabilize the Seven Kingdoms in hopes of bringing about a bit of chaos. We've got the upcoming vote due to pick the new head of the chair and the head of the council that's been holding the peace for well over a millennia. However, during this downtime, Tikit returned to his laboratory. Upon returning to his laboratory, a brain in a gelatinous jar started speaking with Tikit as if he'd never been gone, as the entire reality of Tikit's situation became known. Tikit seems to be the hereditary title holder of the original astral traveler that had come to Calisha to establish the peace treaty. And the tests, experiments over the years have been an attempt to take the magical remains of their lineage or heritage father and put them back into a physical form. So for the past 200 some odd years, Tikit, in their current form by possession of the mask, has been living one memory outside of the lab while recalling other memories when inside the lab, a protective spell that he put on the lab himself. As it turns out that Baruch is the continuous experiment of this attempt to refine the perfect vessel that would receive the brain of the hereditary or lineage grandparents of Tikit. Talia, hiring and reorganizing the household, as well as getting the treasury allocated and kind of spending some time getting the wealth of the estate, the valley, as well as the local town that offers up the name of the heritage and the long-term kind of what do you call it when you inherit something.
Inheritance?
Inheritance, but the estate and wealth of the family is actually beginning to turn legacy. Thank you. Is actually beginning to turn the corner. A kind of barely eking subsistence team finally coming home was able to consume not only a plentiful meal, but beginning to realize that the Mired Valley is gaining in wealth and stature at the same time. However, where we last left off, Keat was down in the laboratory. Baruch was experiencing some change as they experimented with this rare luminary dust that was ultra refined and began to regrow the organic matter that was once his feet, shins, and legs. It was steadily expanding in an upward tendency.
I think he's going through second puberty.
Yeah, definitely.
He's experiencing some change.
See?
It's pink.
He's
I'm
growing
human.
some things in weird places.
Not yet.
And I believe a cipher was finally understood. And we now know that Hans and Alva can read the cipher as well.
And while he went down to his study, I asked Talia to join me in mine.
Yep. So where we last left off, Takita's in his lab, Hans and Alva working on the cipher, Amazonia having a distant conversation with somebody as they update their contact. Meanwhile, Talia and Baruch are up in the tower room that Baruch now calls home. What do you guys like to do?
Well, as you see, that is what the
That paper is what was found in that tube. Put it in simple terms, I dug it out of my leg. From memories that Pete helped me recover before this, I believe I'm gesturing to just my bone structure. I believe I'm actually a human. And if that's true, and him being my son, he would be too.
At least half.
At least. If certain things are true, I am a bug. Probably did get around.
Yeah, for all we know, he could be part dragon.
You beat somebody. But
Or get Yankee.
Oh my goodness.
but with
I lost your snap apple crack.
What happened to the base, man?
base, I don't
No
need to
base.
travel.
Slap at the
But-
base.
As I said, I dug that out.
You've shown me your toe.
Not yet.
Okay. So I'm looking at it, and the tube that it was in.
We gave it to Kate.
We knew that. Okay.
That was
I'm reading.
You did? You gave me the two, but nothing was in it.
nothing.
Okay,
Just
that's
gave
right.
you the tube.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, he handed me the.
You got the
Yeah.
You got the tube.
Yep.
She got the paper. But
Your his.
uh, apparently, allegedly, I don't
Allegedly.
know.
According to this piece of paper.
Yes, which is
Can you turn that thing off behind you? I think it needs to charge for a while.
with I'm somewhat familiar with his handwriting.
Yeah, that does look like his handwriting, right?
I mean, you give me investigation as you kind of stare at it.
My first roll with my new dice.
Hex.
Oh, okay.
No. What you're supposed to do is go, Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
No, no one
Will
should be that
we-
cruel.
Investigation 22.
22. It looks like his writing, but it's not his current writing. Like, you've dealt with his most recent documents that he signed and have written to be handed down to the magistrate of the mire or to send messaging up to the Crown
Am I
Spire.
familiar with this past writing?
No, you're not. It looks like the way he would write, but there's a youthful measure to it.
Okay.
This writing that he's showing you feels different. Similar, but different.
But he recognizes it. Right.
Yeah, but in the same vein, the way you recognize it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's his writing, but it feels different.
I
Like it-
mean,
A little bit more. Like, would you say like it's a little bit more mature looking, or
no, his
Confidence.
writing now is more
Confidence?
mature.
Confident.
But his writing now is more mature.
No, his writing now is more hesitant, discerning.
But this is his writing if it matures more.
No, this is his writing if he's under.
if he had his balls?
if he was confident. Yeah.
But
So you showed her your foot.
not yet.
Okay.
He hasn't shown us.
Okay.
But in the process of digging that out, I did an experiment of my own to try to.
Who wakes up in the morning and says, I'm going to dig in my knee?
I had a stupid idea. Okay, like let's be honest. I had a stupid idea.
Great question. That's so
I
not a
thought-
fantasy question.
I thought that if I were to store some of the recently acquired luminary in the marrow of my bones, it would increase my spellcasting a bit.
You still have marrow?
Yes, actually, I thought it out. It's very painful. Very, very, very painful.
So you have nerve endings in your bone.
I don't know about nerve endings. I just
You want to focus on his arm. Because that's a skeleton arm, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can feel it. He reacts to it.
Feel the pressure. Like it still hurts when my bones get.
Scratch it.
Like fingernails on a chalkboard. Give me a medicine check while you're doing that.
Mind you, I am wearing a shirt, like full on, get up, but
Yeah.
sleeves are real good.
Yeah.
15.
15. Give me an Arcana check with advantage.
Oh no, I have plenty of d20s. I'm just which one's not gonna fuck.
Fuck you, Gil.
17.
17. There's something you've never really noticed it before, but now having this conversation with Baruch, there's something strange about his physical form. It feels less naturally skeletal and almost as if he's an amalgamation or a construct. You've kind of known
So
him.
bones don't actually feel like real bones.
Yeah, they don't.
I'm playing with it because I love bones.
He's almost, you get the feeling he's more of a magical construct than a traditional vessel of undead. Although he bears some resemblance to undead facilitation.
I have 2 undead downstairs.
Yeah, that are currently wandering around terrifying the staff.
No, they're just kind of standing.
Terrifying the staff. Staff's like making a
Like,
large
yeah,
arc
you
away
You
from
need to
them.
strip them and have skeletons so they don't smell and leave things.
If we keep them.
Yeah,
By the way,
boil- have Nelly boil them.
who resolved the cipher? Was it Maggot? It
Um,
was Hans and Alva. They were finally working on it, right?
Yeah.
Because you weren't here that session, right? So that was what you were focused
no,
on.
I think
Okay.
I found something.
Yes, you found.
You found the book of how to build a goblin army.
Yes, the cipher was in that,
Yes,
and I
correct.
handed it over.
And then you handed it over. Thank you. Because that was a book written in code that matched the cipher all the way back when you guys first took the gig to go and get the spies out of Char. Mm-hmm.
Which you have. All right. So I'm intrigued by his non-skeleton.
More importantly, you begin to realize that his magic of what he is what he is. That's the most important kind of thing that you're picking up from him in this conversation. You've never noticed it before because you guys have kind of just operated in the periphery of each other's requirements, working for it to keep. But after this journey that you've had with him and then finding yourself back at the estate, you're beginning to realize that there's a kind of construct nature about it. Less traditional undead, more arcane construct than anything else.
Well, with that bit of experimentation that I did, something weird happened, and I kind of want to show you, but hold on a second. I'm going to go over to where I have some more of that already crushed Umari
Okay.
and a dagger.
Really refined one.
And I'm going to just rip open the shirt, go to my sternum bone, and then start the same process of grinding.
I mean, who
Divot,
wakes
just-
up in the morning and says, "I want to grind my sternum bone to dust"?
It hurts like hell. Just wait.
You need
Just
me
walk.
to do it?
I'll need you for the next part. Just wait.
It's almost painful watching you do that.
Almost.
I
painful doing it.
I'll do it for you.
I can't
It's
wait
okay.
till the growth gets
It'd be
too
less
strong.
painful doing it myself.
gonna
It's all
hurt.
right.
Is it-
You're right,
everything's
I
gonna
got
hurt really bad.
Okay. I'll gather up some of the dust. I'll mix it, and then, okay. When I apply this, just go ahead and hit me with a healing spell, strongest you have, and I'll take it and I'll slap it on, cast mending.
Yep.
All the way up.
And mending kind of fuses it into the divot that you kind of created to put it in. which, by the way, you take a point of damage from the divot effect. What are you going to cast?
Your wound.
Okay.
Strongest I have is. Strongest I have is 5th level.
So 5th level cure wounds. Okay. You watch as you cast the spell on his chest across where he kind of put the luminary shard into the bone material. And there's almost like an explosion of arcane energy. Just this kind of subtle that kind of crackles as you watch the beginnings of bits of flesh forming where the shard matter was put inside the bone. The formation of muscle and tissue. Slow, but it's begun. It's starting to, in fact, with a partially exposed kind of rib cavity, you watch as nothing is there, and then suddenly,
Wait. Ruth, we probably want to take the bagpipes.
Oh, they're already out. That's where I got the luminary shard from.
Okay.
Because I had the 2 pounds in the. Yeah, it's out.
You may not want to have.
Oh, I know. No, the next thing is I need you to get these up.
Okay.
As I'm just sitting there. Just,
I start prying the gems out of his skull,
give me sleight of hand while you do it.
and then we need to take the flute out of your forearm, because I'm still poking.
yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
And
10. I mean, take 12 points of damage as Talia gets in there and starts popping out the gems out of your eye sockets. And
Can I make a would it be Constitution to not scream?
con save. Keep
Okay.
from
You
screaming
said
in
10, right?
pain. Put that at a 16.
Okay. Con save, you said? Oh yeah, no.
like the echo chamber of the well,
Silence.
except for you being in your lab. There's just kind of, there's like this kind of really quick,
The Wheel of Fame from Princess Bride.
yeah. But because it's so far up in the tower, it's more of a distant echo as it kind of courses through the different parts of the estate. But you got them out.
okay, well they'll just think that I'm, I don't know, doing something deep. So. Boning or deboning.
Torturing in some way.
Yeah, and still slowly screaming.
Reskinning.
He's like, I think that's why the very short. Why I have this. And I'll like run my fingers through my hair. And I'll look up and do the eye sockets.
We had you in one of the other rooms, right?
Yeah.
Brooke had chased you off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She and then she went to the library.
That's right. So while you're in the library, kind of looking at all of Takit's books, you hear this kind of echo through that part of the estate that you're currently in.
Love your shirt. Thank you.
Oh, all right.
Both of them. but specifically.
All right.
But
So you would have heard it.
I would have heard it. I would have been like, what is that?
Do you
Is that
go?
Farouk?
Do you go investigate?
She's afraid of Farouk right now.
That's fair.
After what just happened.
yeah.
So she's like, I probably shouldn't go check that out. Like, she probably has a feeling that he's doing something else in line with what she saw.
Give me an investigation roll for your time in the library.
Small smile since you know he's screaming or something.
That is a 9.
What'd you get?
9.
9. Okay.
he doesn't know how to.
9.
9.
So while that's going on up in the high tower with you in the library, Hans and Alva, after receiving the book from Takit, you begin to realize that this is a 3-part cipher. What the hell was that?
My text down.
Oh, good lord. Now that you're back in the workshop that you have on Takit's property, you've been spending most of the day back working on the cipher, enhancing the skyship's abilities to do things, learning the engineering of the skyship, realizing now that the luminary shard dust, luminary shard, luminary rock, different forms of refinement, it can be used to facilitate the manufacture or the enhancement of devices. As you kind of have one of the backpacks from Maggot that you and Hans and Alva are kind of investigating, pulling apart, trying to figure out how it works, the mechanics and machinations of it. When Takik calls you, you guys have a brief exchange, and he hands you this book called How to Build a Goblin Army. Is the title of the book.
But I'm assuming that's.
Yeah, the key senses that this book, in conjunction with the cipher that you found on that one hobgoblin, that cipher allows you to actually understand what this book means, because the nature of the book is almost too silly or inconsequential. Yeah, like it's almost like built in like a school book, like a child's book reference, the way it's built. And so taking your cipher template and spending time with this book, you might be able to understand what the message might be that's hidden in this book. So give me investigation with advantage, because you now have both parts of the cipher.
I want to give you good.
I'm not there. Too far away.
We're currently getting jammed.
A little pigeon lands on a windowsill. Little feather curls in the air, lands on your shoulder. Nice. It's a alternating cipher. Every fifth word or every fifth page is a word. As you spend most of the hour deciphering the book with the cipher, it is a message that was meant for a familiar ogre mage that you guys had already dealt with. And it is the exact disposition of where the equipment is intended to go, including a contact name. The location is in the fractured north, capital city called Crater. Krater. I have to open up my other tab now. This is fun. There is an industrial guild that is run by a family called the Family Vanon. And they maintain Vanon, Vanon. And they maintain a stewardship called the Black Market Trade. The shipment that you guys interceded was meant for the patriarch of the family, located in the capital city of Crater in the fractured north, with instructions to take the weapons and have them enhanced. And it'll take you most of your morning and afternoon to decipher that message.
But with Hans, he said that there was a ship that is that the same one, the little spear, little hand one that we were talking
Yeah,
about?
or hoopty.
Yeah. Okay. So you probably worked on that.
Okay.
Yeah, our ship box. Our ship.
Oh yeah, your little
Our ship box.
Yep.
yeah, it's not even an airship. It's a
It's
It's
a
a-
minivan.
yeah, it's
Sky skip.
yeah, it's a sky skiff. It's just crew of 8 at best, minimal cargo. It was a gift, sort of, for the accomplishment. It doesn't really have a lot of fancy bells and whistles that the previous airship that you guys had from Nightshade. But
No, she got caught.
yeah, she's now being dealt with by a certain hobgoblin spy ring. But
Hopefully.
that's neither here nor there at this point. Hans would be spending most of his time trying to understand the engineering of the sky skiff and to understand how it works, how the luminary shard engine works. Give me investigation for starters.
What do you advantage the fact that you work on Nightshade ship too, or not?
The DC is a little bit lower. And this is more of a inspection of its capabilities than anything else.
Is it investigation or?
Correct.
Okay, so. 18 plus 2, so 30.
3020. The construction of this vessel is far more simplistic, so the engineering is easier to understand. The skiff does not have any waterborne capabilities. It's designed specifically to be a small airship. The luminary shard engine is simpler and smaller than the one that Nightshade used. But it's also more traditional Atmo engineering construction. So it has some advantages because of that. And Hans will begin to realize that you can actually improve and expand on the vessel. There's components that you can add to it. You can improve the arcane energy and emissions that come from the engine. It's almost like a basic model, like a very simple model. It can be expanded on. Okay. So he'll spend his time experimenting on the sky skiff while Alva is deciphering the last bits of the message. Having some time into Keith's library, while you don't find specific information related to your matriarch's concerns about Takit and what Takit is, there is an unusually long generational capture of information in his library. Takit appears to be or acts of a certain age, but the amount of literature and historical books, either he is obsessed with these books and is constantly looking for them and therefore keeps them here as a collection, or Takit's a lot older than he is. There's one particular title that you come across that you know to be written some 484 years ago. It's called The Stargazer. And it's a biography of someone who claims to know where the astral traveler came from.
Probably going to spend some time reading that.
Okay.
Because after signing the contract, she's now very fond of the keep and very wants to read more about various things in its library.
Okay.
When she talked to the matriarch, I think she may have. I don't think she would have disclosed anything about what she saw with Farouk, but
Okay.
she would have. She probably would have praised Takit if it was after signing the contract,
That's fair. Yeah.
and she might have just asked about humans in general. Because
To the matriarch?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Because she knows about the pink goblins
Mm-hmm.
that we had before, and he's seen the flesh that's growing on Baruch's legs. Which is like,
That's right, because that's why he
what's
rang
up with
off.
humans?
That's right. Yeah.
Pink goblins.
What's up with the pink goblins? Why
Yeah.
are
Okay.
they such a thing? And why does it seem like people don't want us to know about them?
Give me a final investigation as you're going to spend time reading through this book, taking notes for the purposes of potentially sharing this with your matriarch.
Another 9.
Wow.
This is
Plus 0. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
a 9 plus 0.
Takit, you're in your lab. The voice pulsing behind you. The moment you had crossed that threshold and all your previous memories come in, the memories that you contain outside of this lab evaporate to the point that you have no knowledge of those memories either. So, as you stand in your lab, you hear the voice of your father. While the fact that you have yet to come back with a construct tells you that your current construct is working as planned. It's the only thing your memory allows you to understand. It's the only part of your memory, because if that part of your memory is triggered per failure, then you know to take one of the constructs that are currently hanging nearby and begin the process all over again. The process of transference, which is what your main focus has been. You then look at a separate wall that kind of lingers and arcs down into another sub-portion of your laboratory. And there are an equal number of brains to the equal number of constructs, as your preservation of the transference process has allowed you to take the latest transference, known as Baruch, transfer it into a construct, and when you take that construct across your threshold, your memory becomes wiped, and the new experiment takes over yet again. This has been your way of protecting what you do, considering the genocidal nature of what happened to the community of Danica and the hereditary community that traveled with your father all those millennia ago to this strange world called Calisha. The reality is that the surviving members of your father's entourage now make up the collective of the construct pieces and parts that you have been using. You know
The
what
brains or the bodies?
both, because you've been practicing a magical invocation called transference. As you're trying to create the perfect construct and vessel to transfer your father's remains
So it's not
into
the
that
brain's,
vessel.
It's not the brain's original memories.
It's the hardware for the software that we put in.
How old are
Yeah.
you? Biologically.
Biologically, you are 952 years old.
Why am I just figuring?
You take off your mask to give your face a break, and you see your perfect face.
You said 900 and what?
52 years old.
52.
You have no disfigurement. It's a byproduct of the mask.
Am I human?
You are human.
Is he
Pure
ginger?
or
You are human. You are a hereditary human from the original astral traveler.
Now my question is he ginger?
No, not
He's not my
exactly.
was my biological mother human?
You have no current memory of your mother. That is a construct of your memory alteration when you leave the lab. That is all a farce.
Why am I helping you?
Your passion for your father has blinded you to his arcane power. He is considered to be the most powerful arcane caster in all of humankind.
So So I'm doing it out of love for my father.
You're doing it out of the idea of love, but deep down, to get a hold and understand that power is really your true motivation.
Okay, so I
To your original backstory, your original backstory, you are a traditional kind of arcane focused individual. Your disfigurement and your mask hides your true identity from people. Your alteration spell, when you come out of the laboratory, makes it so that if someone scries or reads your thoughts or tries to penetrate through your veil, there's nothing to find. Nothing at all. There are hidden triggers, however. Successes and failures cause certain memories to linger and certain memories to fade. The fact that once again you've come back into your lab with no triggered memory of failure tells you that your current experiment is working.
The current brain in the jar, is that my father?
The active one is your father, preserved in a kind of luminary liquid kind of substance that has permanently preserved his original brain as it was. Everything is in there. His memories, his personality. He is guided through
Like a giant
his
soul jar.
soul. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Do I remember anything about him other than it's working?
No, that's the trigger. The fact that you haven't brought a construct back into the lab tells you that it's working.
How is it supposed to succeed?
That is the one thing you hadn't resolved yet. You still don't know how to reconstitute organic matter onto the vessel.
Do I think that it will gain the memories of my father in the jar while it grows outside? Or will it be divergent?
No, you're trying to conduct the perfect vessel for transference. The stability of the vessel matters more than anything else to the ceremony and the ritual casting of the transference effect. In other words, once your father comes into existence, into the vessel, it'll wipe out all previous memories and pre-existence of whatever that vessel can take. But in order for your magic to be tested, you're slowly bringing a dead person back to life in hopes to prove the transference is viable, can happen. You still haven't learned all of the acts of the magic or the ceremonial rituals to make it work. You spent many centuries, time and time again, of doing it. The mask, the magic through your father, the unnatural way that you age, all allow you to continue this hope that you can bring your father back into existence.
Do I covet his power he had when he was alive?
Oh, the idea of gaining his power is a motivation for you to do some pretty horrific acts.
Who put the memory spell on the door? Me?
You did, yes.
What was my father like? Did I know him while he was physically
You did
alive?
not.
How old was I when he died?
There's no memory for you on that. Almost feels like it's been protectively purged.
Oh,
Anything you want to work on while you're in the lab?
did I guess maggot?
Maggot is geezed, yes.
Did I do that?
Yes. It's a standard procedure within all your signed contracts. Everyone is geezed.
What is my power level in research?
Beyond most scope of understanding of arcane energy and arcane power. Your knowledge of spells, your knowledge of the arcane, your knowledge of how magic works is unchallenged by anyone else in the known world.
But I don't have my memories from outside to compare them to.
Correct.
Have I ever tried to keep memories beyond the door?
You have not. Mostly because you're not sure what your failsafe is.
So there's fail
Another-
safe on the memory.
There's gaps in your knowledge. Like whenever you stare at the threshold and think about dispelling it, that gap in your knowledge almost forces you to stop that thought. Almost as if there's another layer of safety that's been put there, prevent you from doing
Does it feel it was put there by me?
most of, not all this feels like you have constructed this, organized this, and manipulated this whole situation to allow you to safely practice very powerful magics in your lab, but lead a very separate life outside the lab magically. Therefore, you can't be magically kind of
Suspicion.
brought under suspicion. Yeah.
Plausible deniability.
It's all the most important fact of your world domination plan
Are
of
mine?
taking over Calisha.
Oh, I want to take over.
Oh, absolutely. Manipulate the council, regain the ability of astral travel again, understand how your father did things. If all of this information and knowledge comes back to you, and you can figure out how all that part works and get your father transferred into the right vessel, the two of you could easily begin your domination of this world.
What is the estate?
As you think about that, there's a gap in your memory.
So technically, he's pinky and I'm the barkeep.
Okay.
Perspective has a lot to do with that.
When
I think your
when I
PG
recovered
needs to-
some,
Yeah.
when I was doing some of the memory recovery spells outside,
Mhm.
I learned that my mother had selectively removed memories of my father from me. Is
Correct.
that all bullshit?
That is not all bullshit. In fact, you begin to believe that part of your triggered memories are coming back on purpose. What you believe to be the false story of your mother is actually a female patronage that was in your life from the source of where your father came from. She feels older than your father.
Celestial older?
Hard to know, because when you think of those thoughts, there's gaps.
Are my memories mine or of other predecessors? Like he's had other sons and when they die, boom.
Your memories are your memories.
Except
There
where
are
they've
no
been
predecessors.
tampered with. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. The construct that's outside right now hasn't failed and is meant to house my literal thought.
Correct.
And what are all the other brains
Continuous experiments in case there's failure
of that brain?
of that construct when you combine. You've combined a construct and brain already. That is Baruch.
Okay, so it has a copy of that brain in a jar in it.
No, it's the real one. The brain that talks to you is the one that you're going to use when you perfect the vessel.
Gotcha.
You've successfully created a vessel so far that is working and functioning. The brain of Baruch and the body of Baruch were transferred
Okay.
through your magical prowess. And so far, because you haven't come back in with it, that tells you that the vessel has achieved a level of advancement you haven't gotten to before. Now, if you could only solve the challenge of organic matter regrowth.
I'm not understanding. There are brains equal to constructs, yes?
Correct.
And they're all in jars.
They're all in jars.
Are they all blank?
They are all named. There are 100 other names, all human names, all members of your father's entourage that traveled with him to Calisha. These
So-
were your experiments to create the transference ability.
so
You
I'm
failed multiple
experimenting on
times.
his-
You failed.
Okay.
You have the
Experimenting on
remains.
his
His
people.
entourage.
Yeah,
Okay.
the original travelers that came with him were numbered over 300.
Okay.
So you've had 200 previous experiments fail.
In the past 900 years?
And I'm down to what, 32 or something?
You're down to 100.
100.
You said 170.
Something like that. So about half the number is still available to you. Baruch, on the other hand, As an experiment outside of this laboratory, you've been able to successfully bring him back from the dead. That's been a kind of a precursor to a successful vessel. So the immortality that you're trying to achieve, the transference you're trying to achieve, the only problem you haven't been able to solve is to get organic matter to regrow on the vessel. Getting the tissue, the nervous
plan
system.
is to perfect the vessel, bring it back in, pull out the brain from the dad's brain.
Correct. However, you also know that the only way for that memory to trigger is through the evolution of the vessel. There's something that the vessel is going to go through that will trigger a gap in your memory
Puberty.
that will then allow you to
Flesh.
bring the vessel back in.
Okay. How
My
often?
long itch.
How long ago did I animate him?
Originally about 15 years ago. But because your previous staff and those that were responsible for carrying out the illusion of your estate were wiped out, you've gradually been bringing on Talia, Panzanalva,
Did I wipe them out, or did they
Maggot,
just
and
die?
some of the others. They just kind of, through precarious circumstance, through your travels, through your existence, people die. And they have to be replaced.
So the memories he's getting back is of the brain that is connected to that construct.
Correct.
But I don't know that. So I don't know that.
You're correct. Yes, you're correct.
Your outside brain knows that.
Correct.
And am I the first one of my father's children to do this shit?
You're the only child that you
Only
know.
child.
Yes. And to this day, you're not even sure if you have parentage.
I might be a construct myself.
Correct. It's possible. You might be his first attempt. Or you might be his successful attempt at immortality.
All right. What do I think is the most important spell that I wish I had access to now?
With all your knowledge of the arcane, the one thing you've never been able to understand how it works because you're human is how luminary shard works. You draw your magic in the laboratory very differently than how you're forced to draw your magic from your other self. When your other self, you have a luminary shard focus that you use to conduct your magic. But when you're in your laboratory,
I don't need it.
you tap into a thing called the veil, a thin mystical barrier of energy that barely exists here. It's barely vibrant. It's slight. It's kind of there. And that's how you channel your human magic. But anybody else out in Calisha wouldn't know what to do with it if they saw it. They wouldn't know what to do with the veil. Which is why your father's brain pulsing, watching you go through this recovery of your memory for the 10,000th time that he's kind of listened to you go through this process. Are you done yet, son? Can we get started now on the next level of experiments?
Yes.
Good. Now, the fact that you haven't brought a construct back through the door tells me the current one you have out there is doing well. Okay. So, at some point, the evolution of that construct should trigger one of your safety memories, correct?
As far as I understand.
Most important part of this is we are in a time sink with the election and standing up of the new head of the council. We, in the wastes, we need to achieve this before this newest election. If the Stargazer family find their way to sit at the head of this table, it could cause us problems. They're the only family that still has evidence of my original existence. Remember, any opportunity to take on any quest or information related to the Stargazer family must be followed through.
I'm sorry to say that last bit again.
Any quest or opportunity to follow through with the information related to the Stargazer family must be followed through. So once again, you feel like a memory trigger is being implanted during this conversation.
What was my father's name?
You do not know your father's name.
Richard.
Dick.
It is a gap in your memory. As you're about to ask, you're about to think, it's an empty space every time you think about it.
Am I a
Forcing
construct?
you to avoid.
Am I a construct?
You feel
No,
human.
I'm asking.
Oh, you're asking?
Am I a construct?
Son, we've gone through this conversation many times. There is the magical evolution of a creature. There's the artificial enhancement of a creature. There's a world called Eberron where creatures are made from gear work and gnome work and fascinating mechanics. There are other places where things are made of clockwork and gear work. There are other places of non-traditional constructs where dead remains are stitched back together and then infused with divine magic to bring them back into animated use. There's even dead skeletons that can be animated for the purposes of being a thrall. You're not a construct in the truest form of the word. You are a amalgamation of me as much as you making an amalgamation of us. You and I are us. We're not me and you. We're simulacra. Good.
Do I think I could kill him?
It's crossed your mind. And there's no gap in
no,
your
I-
memory when you think
Do I
about it.
do I think I could succeed?
Yeah. Yeah. You've never really figured out what the threshold of that power would feel like. But the fact that you're the extended simulacrum of what your father once was, and as the simulacrum, you're preserving his existence. You sometimes feel like as you're working in your lab and practicing what you do, you catch yourself staring at your father's gelatinous kind of brain-like remain, and you lose focus long enough to where you're lost in the thought of once you could figure out how both his arcane magic works in conjunction with luminary magic, nothing can stop you. It's even crossed your mind that destroying a god sounds easy.
Do I think this is quiet thoughts in my head?
Yeah.
Do I think it's possible to merge Dad's brain with my consciousness?
If you could study the highest end of transference,
I would have to perfect it first.
well, not only would you have to perfect it, but there are, you know, that there's magical atonements and magical devices that actually benefit this type of magic. Give me an Arcana check, if you would.
Just like magical object.
On the check.
Add 27.
Actually, 28.
One of the things that this triggers for you is a purposely suppressed memory. As you get lost in the idea of defeating your father through combining both, that thought triggers a memory that you hid away on purpose, that you think will stay there when you cross the threshold. There is a device off near a place called Dune Rock Bay that may give you the ability to do what you want to do. You also begin to look at the maps and charts that you have hanging over a nearby series of tables and work tables with all your equipment and stuff on
Some
it.
of that. Click. Like, oh, I think I have a mission to go there.
A transference object that is diagrammed out for you on a large chart is a mechanical owl.
Called it. Called it.
And it's called the Osmodeus Owl. It's said to be linked to an ancient god who would use this creature to move souls between terrestrial bodies. Sometimes to become an avatar to extend the power of this god, and sometimes as a way to rewarding champions for their service.
That's gonna stick.
No, definitely not.
Like my owl.
Will the importance of Dunrock
Perfectly like your owl in diagram form. In other words, it's got the name of it, the creator, the different important components that allow it to successfully be used for transference. But he doesn't know that it's your owl. He just knows it's a device that he's looking for. It has yet to find, technically.
do I think the memory is going to?
Well, and remember, her owl that she talks to is a wooden figure.
Yeah, no, it's not.
It doesn't look anything like your chart, so your memory hasn't been triggered to know that you discovered something that you have to have. So that gap will always be there on the outside until you find it.
I just love
So my
that.
owl
Once you
is no longer
mentioned
with
that flavor, you go, I'm like, watch, that voice in your owl is your dad too. Maybe not the exact same
Probably.
brain, but probably a separate,
He's another
copy of
Another-
a brain somewhere.
another instance
No.
trying to get out.
Yeah.
Will
It's different.
will I remember going to Dunrock Bay is going to be important?
No, because it's connected to the understanding of the owl figure.
That's
And
going to
because you haven't seen the owl figure yet, you know not to expose that bit of memory.
and I don't know there's an owl out there.
Correct.
Doesn't know about the owl. You said that knowing that there was a device in that area.
Fun Fang, he goes, it's like he's playing chess with himself, but can't remember the previous moves.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it's kind of, but that's the failsafe. That's what keeps you safely able to operate in these two clandestine ways to achieve the singular goal. You're not exposing yourself to the outside world while trying to solve the problem, but yet all your solutions aren't exposed to the outside world because you keep them safely protected away. Like any true villain, you work in both sides of the black and the white.
You are the big man.
Well, his original thought of Takit is, but Takit could also, the name itself could have meaning, but it just hasn't come across the right person yet to understand the name.
Who knows? Maybe me taking over the world with my dad will make everything better.
Says every Klingon emperor.
World domination.
Um,
That's going to make everything better.
It does. It really
Says
really
every
does.
Klingon emperor.
Okay, I'm gonna try one thing.
Okay.
Only one? You have like all of arcane knowledge at your fingertips and you're only going to try one thing?
It is a limited time you're allowed in the lab.
Or at least now?
I'm gonna cut the message on the skin. Go to Dunrock.
As you attempt to do that, your mind will not allow you to do it.
Anyway,
It's almost as if,
I thought that this would happen.
yeah, once again, you begin to realize that there are layers upon layers of millennials worth of work that have been ongoing to make this work, which tells you that whatever killed your father, whoever he is, at the height of the signing of the treaty, that gap is part of this process. That once you have the vessel, that once everything, it's like with each level of success, a bit of memory comes back on purpose.
All right. Then. Is there anything else I should note or take with me out of here?
I think for now you have what you need. If you continue to have success, before long, I would expect to see you to return with the vessel ready for my use.
I hope so.
Why did you have to help me?
You,
'Cause I won't.
No.
We don't know this.
as you right? And this is your process. You fill out your journal, close it, you reinvoke the spell of protection on it, which means anyone other than you that opens it will see no writing. And you cross the threshold with your mask on.
Before I do that,
Yeah.
what specifically will I remember coming out of here?
You'll remember nothing.
Just like you.
I thought there was some. Oh no, I won't until it gets triggered.
Only, yeah. Certain things.
You gotta
will-
be triggered. You gotta be so triggered.
Trigger warning.
Trigger
The skeleton
warning.
has flesh.
How often do I go down into the basement?
Yes.
Normally you go down for a few hours before.
Oh, every day?
It's part of your long rest.
Oh, every day.
Yeah, every day. When everyone else drifts off to their long rest, you don't sleep.
Part of my meditation.
Yeah, it is part of your meditation process. You go into your lab and you focus on your lab work until the following morning, and then you continue the charade of Taki.
Before I leave, and I enchant or create something kick-ass, either defensively or offensively, to take out with me.
You attempt to organize it, and you're
Can't
prevented.
do it.
It's
Okay.
It feels like it would give away a secret, is what it feels like to you. So,
Okay.
as we are now, are we into the early evening at this point? Did we get into the evening? I
Yeah.
think so,
We had
right?
dinner.
Yeah,
Because you guys had already had
we
dinner.
yeah.
So at this point, before you guys all take your long rest, in fact, you'll appear the following morning as that activity is all part of your long rest in your meditative state. So, yep. Back up to you two in the hunt tower.
One last thing. Yeah. Please stop poking my
Do
arm.
you think we need more?
Yeah, but I don't know how this is going to work either. And you see like the my fingers. That ring I got from Nightshade.
That
Wanna
you
lose it?
fuse to yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go ahead and leave it.
We can cut it off and then just reattach the bone.
What's the guy you follow?
What's the what?
What's the
God,
deity you
that's
follow?
Just gotta look it up. That's not a good sign.
Ah. I look at the little owl just putting
Yeah.
his arm over.
Oh,
Yes, do it.
I cut off his finger.
You pull out your blade, finger splits off. You watch as the bone infused around the ring decays,
Okay, that's
and you see the ring
16.
appear. As the bone, well, actually, because you cut off his finger,
I can disassemble.
No, I'm gonna take some of the shards and mix it with luminary dust and then do the mending.
It's just a break where it was at, where the ring was.
I would say while you're doing this entire situation with Baruch,
Yeah.
the owl's voice
Mhm.
becomes an affirmational helper, as if he's giving you guidance and realizing just how important Baruch might be. Like he's cooing in your ear. Careful, Tess. This bone is magical. You solved the riddle of regrowing tissue. This might be exactly what we've been looking for. This might work for me.
I hate how I love it. I hate it. I'm glad I gave
So
you
he
a blank.
cracks off your finger.
Shut up, you're just the meat.
Talia mends it, pulls the ring off,
More of
puts it
that.
on the table, takes a little bit of the luminary shard putty and rubs it on there and sticks the finger back on,
Mending.
fuses it with a little bit of mending spell and another cure light wound or cure wounds on there.
Oh, I wonder if that means that.
Are
I
we
know-
using the same luminary shard that you mixed up?
Yep.
With the ultra refined
Yeah.
luminary?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had
You
2
begin to
pounds.
watch as
I had 2
flesh,
pounds of
sinew, muscle, and tissue begin to form around that finger. And it's almost as if you expect the hand and partway up the arm to regrow, and you expect the chest and part of the shoulders and a little bit of the stomach to regrow. But the effort's
the finger off.
continuous.
Wait, I want to cut my other finger. Got you. Hole.
I get that. Just 1 second.
Oh,
And
you're
I'm
fine.
gonna try to measure out about
Is there a finger growing without bone in it?
This is finger.
just 1 second. I want
Yeah, they're
something real
pulsing.
quick.
They're ruffling with excitement. I'm about to go into her Aarakocra mating.
Yeah, I'll measure out about
She's preening the plumage.
She's doing the Zoidberg.
I'm going to prepare before she does the other hand.
Okay.
About 100 gold worth of the luminary shard.
Okay.
The luminary shards. Or whatever.
Okay.
Like, okay. 1 second. I just
No,
Take a
I want to do it. I want to do it. I chopped the other finger off.
And it's like, yeah, the
Oh,
finger
yeah,
comes
because
off,
injury.
shattered
okay,
bone.
last one was a 60. Let's
Yeah, and she repeats the effort once again, reforming the finger, putting it back on with the infusement of the magical enhancement as once again skin, bone, and tissue begin to
I wonder
slowly regrow on your hand.
if I know his father's name. Because I know my owl's name.
You know your owl's name,
Now,
but the
It might
owls,
not be his father.
you're not, you have no
No, I don't
concept
know
of
about any
it.
of
Yeah.
that.
May I?
so as soon
Orange
as
fingers.
she does that one, before anything else happens, I'm going to take that 100 gold worth of luminary shard. I'm gonna grab it.
Okay.
Probably getting skin right around here. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna use my only 5th level spell and cast Greater Restoration.
Okay.
It increases the grip. The
My father's port bard.
As Baruch casts Greater Restoration on himself, the verbal portion of the spell takes on a different tenor and pitch, and the spell sounds like Tequila. They speak in such a way that they almost sound like Tequila, like it's a
recording.
from a. Had this happened when you were around, this would have been a memory trigger for you. But because it's happening in secret, it makes no sense to either one of them. The Greater Restoration happens. There's an explosion of arcane energy, and Baruch is now fully human. Fully
Well.
restored.
That saved some time. I'm poking you.
Flesh, skin, vessels,
Looking at the
eyes,
arm.
mouth.
Oh, armpit. Okay. Turning you around, checking back,
Yeah, there's back.
And he
there's butt
reminds
crack.
you a lot of that pink goblin that you guys
checking
encountered
down the
recently.
pants. Oh, you have butt cheeks now.
Yeah. Pull the front.
Damn, I was hoping for a slow, painful genital regrowth.
Do you have to pee?
No, but I'm really hungry.
Are you sure you don't have to pee?
He hasn't
Pretty
drank. He hasn't
I
drank
mean, you
anything
haven't
forever.
peed in forever. I think you should try and pee.
Just get a lot. You really want to see me pee?
I really
Now, are
want
you
to-
being honest with her or not? Because right now, you don't feel hungry. You don't feel tired. You don't feel any sense of food needs,
No.
But you
all
feel-
that. None of that feels inherent to your needs. Almost as you're being magically sustained.
You have, like,
Still Baruch's memories as they are now.
I was going to say, do you have any more memories back? Now that you actually have a brain?
Well, he always had one before. That was never determined that he didn't have one.
It's in a jar in the
skull was-
basement.
His head was
My
empty.
skull was empty, but remember there was a sigil.
I know,
inside
but now that you
my-
actually have a brain,
You just couldn't see.
That was the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi to his brain.
Anyway, like
It was a blue.
before,
It was
Baruch would eat, but the food would just disappear because it was sustaining certain.
the brain.
It was
Yeah,
it's
the
a
brain in the
Bluetooth
jar.
sigil is the room. It's like a Bluetooth.
Yeah, nice.
No, it's like the amphitheater sign, the Wi-Fi,
Wi-Fi bars.
Wi-Fi bars.
It's okay. It's got full planet coverage.
Does
So if you continue any further with this, you're going to take a point of exhaustion because you're
Oh.
pushing beyond your long rest period at this point.
I'm
You don't have to sleep yet.
I'm
You don't need
Not-
to, but if you
I'm not
say
sure.
otherwise, you know.
I'm not sure, but I need to. I'm a little confused right now. If you want to stay in the room with me, then I'll wake you soon. Still, I
Okay, wait me
Realize
if you need me.
will do.
I'll go make a nest on the bed.
You're
Just
not a
before-
bird. You're an Eric Cochran. Even Eric Cochran would look up and say, "Oh, what a nice nest."
Okay, I'm gonna go lay down on the bed.
Okay. You
Wait.
wa-
In his
Anything
room?
else change?
nothing. Just your physical appearance. That's it. You are
I
fighting
I
an
slide the ring
urge.
back on.
Okay. You're currently fighting an urge to find and confront to keep. Not in a negative way, but you just looking like Talia's asleep on the bed. You're looking at one of those mirrored reflective glasses that lean up against the wall.
Yeah.
And because your full form is restored, there's this subtle kind of need to show yourself to keep, but you keep fighting it. It feels unnatural. You feel like a geese is slowly coming into effect, is what it feels like.
Old geezer in the basement.
Old geese in the basement with NyQuil Autopops. So Talia settles into her long rest.
Roofies? Roofies? Anyone roofies?
Keith is down in his lab. Hands and
I'm
elbows.
gonna,
If you push yourself too much further into the night, you'll take a point of exhaustion. You may learn more, but okay. So taking a break from both the ship and the workshop. You're in the library. Take your long rest as well. Burr, give me a wisdom save, please.
Oh, I told him to wake me up if he needed.
Mhm. Here comes Burr.
30-20.
30-20. You spend the entire evening standing in your room, staring at your door over at Talia, and fighting the urge through the entire night to find to keep. It's only in the early dawn of the morning, as the estate household is coming alive with the following 5th day since your return, and you begin to smell breakfast. While the smell is noticeable to you, it doesn't make you hungry. It's a fragrance that's noticeable to you. Talia begins to stir, and for some reason, there's a feeling that you know to keep is downstairs. He's come out of his lab. You feel it. You know it.
Oh, I wake up.
So you wake up. Everyone mark off a long rest. You begin to wake.
First thing out of my lab, I'm going to go to the library and see what good level spells I can do.
Okay. Coming out of your version of a long rest. Any particular one that you're looking for?
Oh, I was kind of looking at hold person or hold monster. And
You would have those available in your library. Maybe we get a chance. Turn that speaker back on. I want to see if that crackle went away.
Teleportation circle, scrying, modify memory, hold monster, and dominate person.
Dominate person, hold monster, and what was the other one?
Modify memory.
And modify memory are spells you have access to.
Right.
Oh yes, scry.
Scry, you do not have access to that. And as you begin to search your library, every time you think of it, it immediately
away.
leaves your mind, as if you're preventing yourself from learning.
And teleportation circle.
You do not have that one either. You don't find any of the book or information regarding to that spell. It's not one that you've collected.
Cloud trail.
Yes.
I think I have that one. I have that one.
Thank you.
It's morning. The typical kind of activities begun. Breakfast is at the table. Those interested would come down for the morning routine, as usual. The house staff coming alive, preparing the day's activity of, taking care of the estate, taking care of those in charge of the estate.
How do you feel? Did you sleep?
No.
Still no sleep.
No sleep.
Now, do you arrive in your new physical form?
No, I haven't gone down just yet.
Yeah, we're still.
Oh, that's right. You two are still up in the high tower. Okay.
I just woke up and I'm asking, you didn't sleep.
Did it have?
Yeah.
Hungry for breakfast?
This bacon's not nearly as good as it was last night.
No.
Not hungry.
Get off my lawn.
Last one, Legend
I
of
can
Lore.
eat,
Yes.
but I'm not hungry. I know what to eat's downstairs.
You know to keep downstairs?
I
Really? Could you feel to keep the door?
no. Like
down there while they're up there.
once this, like I need to show him.
Your pink goblin miss wants to flash to keep.
Not so many words. Yeah.
Don't look him in the eyes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should.
And now you can sense it.
Yes.
Well, if you're Tiki's father, it'd be weird. You look younger than what Tiki would. Oh.
Thank you. For my recollection, it should be about 200-ish.
You have a staff that takes care of it.
Which is weird.
Well, you look good for 200.
I look fucking great.
You're welcome.
Get out of here, shut up.
Welcome.
Oh, speaking of skeletons, I gotta go down and recap that up.
Yeah.
If I don't, they don't collapse.
I'm gonna flip a
into
coin
pile.
And
no. Get the-
to see if
they
I
may
try
actually
casting
stay after, so.
Greater Restoration on myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Do I try it again? Yes. I move shards. Like a little bit more as soon as she steps out of the room. And I put them together and I just this time I just to my head.
Okay.
Greater Restoration. See if that did.
Is he all technically right now?
No.
Like, here's-
Well, he has
Oh
it
no!
right now.
The luminary shard up there before.
Yeah.
Like pictured like.
I mean, what are you attempting with this?
To see if now that I have a
No, maybe that's
I
Calisha.
can think of as
I mean,
my
not
brain.
Calisha, AI.
If casting Greater Restoration will help restore memories,
As far as you're concerned, you're not missing any memories.
or figure out something.
That's AI that I have too.
Never mind.
I mean, you cast it. You expend the spell, and you expend the components of the spell. But you don't feel any different. You don't feel like any great bit of information is given to you.
I'm gonna grab my head in the skies off
Yeah.
the table.
Make yourself look like original Baruch.
Actually, before that,
I want to poke him.
You're already
Go
gone.
skin.
yeah, you're already gone.
Oh, I didn't think I'd left.
But
I didn't think I'd left.
Are you
'Cause
still
we were
there?
talking.
I tried that. You watched me try to use Greater Restoration on myself again.
Uh-huh.
Nothing happened.
Now that he looks like Baruch, old Baruch, I'm gonna touch him.
Your hand passes through the illusion.
Do I feel skin?
Mhm.
You still feel like a goblin.
Out of disguise is just an
Don't-
extensive
so don't-
illusion,
So don't touch it. Or, anyone.
or get touched by anyone.
Don't worry, I'll only touch you.
Okay.
Don't worry, I only have eyes on for you. And awaken.
Well, she should know. She
I don't have a Chloe cup.
she used a dagger to dig them out. But we'll say it's
You,
cataloging
His eyes
for the
don't.
treasury.
What were they again?
one was an emerald, one was a sapphire.
Yeah.
And what color are your eyes, by the way?
Yeah.
Brown.
Green.
Watch them actually be hitting. Have the headache chromia. Huh. Weird.
But before long, you guys all gather downstairs for the morning. For some of you, the morning ritual. For some of you, a meal. And there's an overstuffed maggot surrounded by empty plates of food, complaining about how terrible the food is. For long, he just belches and kind of recedes into a food coma like nap.
Oh, he's got to start looking through all of the natives that we rescued for a couple of suitable lady friends.
Probably, but also
He'll work his way towards that.
He was
Work his
he
way
also has
through
to
it.
work on keep training
The bat.
not the bat, but the Rangers, goblin, our goblin army. But Keith, I need to show you something.
You know what?
I just
Everyone here
learned.
can,
I
even
just.
though he
I'm happy
badass.
to.
There's black.
I'm happy
Blackout.
to say I've learned
grab a
several
fork and
new
just
spells
throw it and
overnight.
bag it.
I was able to finally made sense of several new spells, including Hold Monster. That should come in very handy.
Oh, that's awesome. Excuse us. Can you all leave, please, and shut the doors?
Do we want to
Of
go to the
course.
basement?
You watch as they kind of disperse and you hear the doors.
Did you hear him say, do you want to go to the basement for this?
That sounds kind of dangerous.
It's quiet. I promise I'll be.
So,
As he takes off the hat, there is a fully human-looking Baruch.
oh, I guess I'll just. I tried something
When did this happen?
last night.
He's a pink goblin.
Were you here, kid?
Oh, you're
Well,
all
yeah,
downstairs.
we're all-
Yeah,
yeah.
you're all there.
Oh, I thought
I'm
they.
doing
I
this
thought
at
they
the
He
left.
has the stick.
No,
the
the-
staff
the-
still.
The staff.
Oh, oh.
Yeah.
Oh. What happened? Okay. Well, that worked.
She gave him the avian flu.
That's what happens when the avian flu mixes with coronavirus.
A fully formed human bard.
I had an idea to try to use my effectiveness in battle. Something very short and
with a little bit of help from Dahlia, actually. And
What did you do?
you know that shard that that Maggot picked up?
Oh, the super ultra refined dust?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Remember how I found that thing inside my bone?
Yeah. Oh. I pull it out and I look inside to see if there's any luminary dust in it.
No, it's an empty tube.
Is there any residue?
No, it was more mixing the dust with the bone.
Maybe it used up the amount that was in it. Maybe it had it in it at first and it used it all up to get you going.
I don't know. All I know is now.
I'm gonna pull out
I
behind
can
behind
do
the key.
this. Just poke my finger.
Does he bleed?
It does not bleed.
Flesh. I can feel that.
Well,
And I
I'm
look
gonna
like
scratch him. But it doesn't bleed.
It still hurts.
But it doesn't bleed.
I pluck out one of her.
A little bit of blood on the end of the.
And I take
I'll
the dagger.
that
And
from
I'm
you.
like,
I take
cool,
that
I
from
need a
you.
new quilt.
I'll pull out another one and I'll write on you with it. Hey, now you have blood.
You know, I believe in some culture that means.
I don't think it's this culture. Though.
Some other culture.
Just like sitting at a further away end of the table.
Yeah, like-
Up her room to,
yeah, like-
kill her or something.
It's Hans, Alva, Amazonia, kind of all cluttered into a fear pile, staring at this.
Oh no, I'm just we're completely ignored Steve breakfast. We saw a dragon turn into a pancake a couple days ago. Been up in the air and all this shit. This is just a normal Tuesday.
Very
And
interesting.
so it's like
I-
a little bit surprised.
I
to see
shall-
the
It's fur culture. It's
Am I,
considered a dick
am I wrong in
move.
thinking you had?
Oh my god, a Rick and Morty
resistance
quote.
to
Quote. That is
spells?
classic.
They didn't try any sleep stuff. Myself, I didn't sleep last night.
And he's not hungry. Yeah, but you
If
could
there's any bacon
eat
left,
before.
throw another utensil at Mag.
You're
Okay.
just snoring away.
Like the fork absolutely
I mean, you can give me a improvised attack with a fork.
Did you?
Bounces off of him.
Did your memories recover, or do I still need to continue with that?
I tried casting greater restoration on myself. I tried to do the ritual to borrow that memory spell, but it didn't work.
Do I? Greater restoration was one of the things that would have restored memory, correct?
Possibly.
Okay, I'll continue with the memory stuff daily. Interesting. And good, I hope.
There's a soft knock at the door. At
Front
the,
door or the
to the end of the area that you guys are in.
yes?
There's someone here to see Master Tikit. It's one of the scaled chieftains, one of the tribes that hunts near the border areas of the Mired Valley. They need to see him.
Show him to the sitting room. Provide refreshments. I'll be there momentarily.
Okay. Yes, sir. And you can hear the soft footsteps of the. I think she's a female hobgoblin that runs
Yeah,
the house.
Nellie.
Nelly.
Nellie. She's a fun character. Hopefully, no one gets her killed. Yeah.
The number one question: is she hot?
Back at you. Ow. Shoots at the door. The bullet hits the door.
No, it just says, like I said, I like her, and then just back goes away with her.
I
few everything to deal with. I am still. I have a few things I need to grab.
Would you care to accompany me to this short meeting?
Probably not.
Very well.
Because, again, going up like this, because I put the back on, will freak them out.
Yes.
Especially because
Showing up like this!
you're pink.
So, I'm going to head back to my room and to work on something. Stop poking me! You're pink!
Got like poking at him as he leaves the room. So who's all going to the sitting room? Where are you guys going back to?
As I walk off, by the way, I just cast Prestidigitation, and all her black feathers are now pink.
Flamingo.
So are you!
Flamingo.
An hour.
So, what are you doing?
She'll follow to the sitting room, but not really go.
Like hang out in the background a bit and just kind of listen in.
Snooper's gonna snoop.
Okay. Snooper's gonna snoop.
She's gonna act like a
We're
pet.
no snooping.
She's not hiding from them though.
Okay.
And he's trying to he's just asleep, and Nellie's just
Rolling
him around, rolling him back into the room. He's just
Rolling,
passed out.
rolling,
Put him on his side. So he,
rolling, rolling,
Nelly,
rolling.
place him on his side so he doesn't whisper.
Okay, like she goes over to like turn him over and he farts. Oh.
His stomach just
It's
deflates.
human finger. Breathe.
So Hans and Alva going back to their workshop and the skiff to the air skiff to continue their work. Amazonia is going to follow these two to the sitting area where they're going to meet with this member of the scaled tribe. And you're heading up to your high tower room.
I'm going to work with my disguise kit, which I
Okay. As to keep you and Talia and with Amazonia trailing to listen in, but not necessarily get directly involved. Do you want them to know that you're there? Or do you care?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. As the three of you arrive to the entry point of the sitting room, there's a very elderly looking goblin standing very nervously, pacing the sitting room. It's maybe 3 feet tall, white fringed hair, but a very kind of wrinkled and aged look. Most goblins live to be in their, mid-teens if they're lucky. This goblin looks to be in their late 20s for sure. Very elderly for a goblin.
Honored elder, I apologize.
You
for making
can,
you wait.
yeah, I mean, you could see the tattoos of his tribal clan, the scaled, kind of through his traditional tribal wear that he's wearing. He's got his hunting bow kind of across his back. He's holding his hunting spear as a kind of walking stick and a spear at the same time. His ears are pointed and way out and slightly drooped with age. The many different the many different jewelry and refinements of his chieftain heritage obviously on his body. He stops pacing to turn to see. Oh, Master Kate, it's good to see you. You've been gone for a while now. Mistress Talia, good to see you as well.
Do I know him? What's his name?
He goes by the name of Snacktooth.
Do I know him?
He is the current Scaled Chieftain. The Scaled are a group of goblin tribes that were kind of unified by you to keep the Mired Valley safe. So they hunt, and that provides the kind of trade and resources that you've been gathering from your nearby lands.
They don't live
Yeah.
throughout the ages. You.
The chieftain, you'll have to excuse my slowness. It seems that age is beginning to catch up to me. You've been gone for many days, Master Taki. I hope all is well with you and your family.
Yes. We have some errands to run, and things have turned out quite well. Sorry to have kept you waiting. Can I provide you with anything you need?
No, I just wanted to let you know that those that you and your friends rescued from the ogre mage that were plotting the revolt on the property, Bronco and the other goblins of the scale that you rescued, are integrating nicely back into the tribe itself. We've been able to expand our hunting grounds as well, that we're no longer under threat deeper into the Mired Valley. We're beginning to be able to hunt things that we couldn't get access to before. But I'm here for a slightly different reason. During one of our hunting forums, we came across something quite strange. Well, I don't really know how to describe it, but it's out near the Tottering Rock. The old mesa that borders between us and the beginning of the barrier between us and the Crownspire Range.
I'm familiar with it.
There's something there. We were tracking a rather large T-Rex in the area. We were able to bring it down. Only lost a few of the scale, no big deal. But it was... We brought it down near a cave entrance. I don't have any living memory of this cave. I don't know why I don't recall it being there. I sent in a couple of the scaled scouts to see if they could find anything. It goes in about 100 feet or so. Comes to an old rusted iron door with some strange writing on it. Writing I don't recognize. Feels old and abandoned. My goblin scaled attempted to decipher the message, but the best we could do is this. He lays out words, letters and words that don't mean anything to any of you.
Do they look like any script?
It looks like a script. Nothing you're familiar with.
Thank you.
Nope.
How far is this location from us flying? Would I say? No, me. Out of character.
Oh, out of character? I mean, you would know that if you took the skiff, it's about half a day's journey to get to the Tilted Rock.
That's a day there and back.
Tilted or tottering?
Sorry, the Tottering Rock.
Okay.
It's named for that because it's an old tottering mesa on a eroded bit of mountainous rock.
Yeah.
And it just looks like a tottering rock, only it's, as far as most people are concerned, it's kind of its own classical structure, part of the formation of the low-lying mountains that make up the central mesas of the Mired Valley. This is the bordered region that would take you into the Crownspire territory. So it's just the fringe of the desert of the Mired and the beginning of the blackened mountain rock range that is the Crownspire territory. Of course, all this making up the area of the
still
Crooked
on
Finger.
our side.
It's still within the Crooked Finger Kingdom.
But it's not
It's not directly in the territory of the Crownspire, but
like a no man's land.
it's a border region. But the Tottering Rock is more of a looky-loo kind of location and a hunting area that the Scaled kind of do, and kind of are in on a regular basis. Their numbers have never been quite enough or well trained enough to go after the bigger animals of the region, but it would seem that the integration of the ones that you rescued back into the Scaled tribe that make up this part of the mire has really ballooned the population of the hunters that are now available to the estate.
Excellent. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Of
Is there
course.
anything you or
No.
the tribe needs?
No, in a few weeks' time, we'll be going through the traditional ceremony of handing over the control of the Scaled to the next in line. My great-great-grandson, Quitclaw, is destined to become new chief in a few weeks. I will then retire and wait my passing.
Should you wish to spend time here in the estate, you are more than welcome.
Oh, no, indoors is not my confinement. I
Understood.
love the Maya. It's my home. It's where I feel free. Well, this old chief must get back to work. Okay.
Thank you, Chief. Nellie,
Yes, to keep. What can I do for you?
can you search through our stores and antiquities, see if we have any suitable retirement gifts for Chief Snippet? And make it available.
I will seek out the vaults and see if there's something that we could provide for him. The usual gift to be delivered to the scaled tribe as you
Yes.
normally do.
Yes, but something special for Chief Staff.
Of course. And she just kind of flourishes out of the sitting room, leaving the three of you sitting there momentarily.
I am glad that it's nothing super concerning, but just off the top of my head, do I recall seeing pass wall upstairs?
Of what?
Pass wall? Spell? Pass wall?
That one does not sound familiar to you.
I'll look for it later.
Okay.
Well, I think we should spend a day out adventuring before we head out to.
Make trouble in Crownspire?
I thought we were going to Doom Rock.
Doomrock Bay?
Doom Rock Bay?
Yeah. Isn't that where we were all?
No, Pebble Sands.
Oh, Pebble Sands. Okay.
Which is
Pebble Sands.
located in Doomrock Bay.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
It's off the
Doom Rock
coast
Bay.
of Doomrock
Yes,
Bay.
we wanted to sorry. And remember that it was in Doom Rock Bay.
Not in
Wait a
it,
day
it's
or
like
two, or-
right off the coast of the southern tip of Doomrock Bay.
Okay, look. There's San Pedro and then there's Catalina.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather go to Canada.
Rather stay in
That's why we're going to Doom Rock.
So Antonia's gonna kind of wander closer to you guys now. And can I take a look at that?
The
writing-
sample of the
the
writing.
writing from
Oh,
the
yeah,
door.
sure. I mean, it's on the table.
I'll go see if I can
Gonna
prod
take
mag
a
it
look
to
at it and see if
usefulness.
she recognizes anything.
You recognize it because of something that you saw in passing. You know it to be something that they call human script. Human writing.
Can I hold on to this for a bit? I'd like to.
No, I think I'm going to hold on to it for keep.
Can I take a copy of it?
See no problem with that.
So. He's gonna-
If he doesn't have a problem with it, I still want to hold a copy for it to keep.
That's fair.
I mean, it's gibberish. But I'm sure
I
that
know, but I'm going to see if it's a
Snaggletooth
I'm gonna
meant
give it to
well,
him.
but I don't think they have much artistic working
Under-
with written words and such.
It's true. I was going to give it to Hans and Alba to see if they know it, so they can decipher it.
Okay, so Antonia's gonna get a bit of paper and
Quill and parchment
Quill
and begin to
parchment.
give me sleight of hand. You should begin to copy it.
I just looked at it.
Does that count?
No, roll it.
Okay.
I do have something in language.
Sleight of
As
hand
a
plus
as
420.
320.
as
Comprehend
a
language.
as a ritual. So we'll spend a few minutes do a ritual and see if I can.
Does not translate to you for some reason.
No, it's just gibberish. It's just gibberish.
It's a block in your brain.
No. It's,
As you copy
I'm sure they copied it down wrong. Once we get there, we can. see
as
what
you copy
really
it,
says.
it's basically a 3-word English, like 3 English words and 3 what you would call human language word.
Mary Pupkill.
It says Simian experimental room. Is what it says. Simian experimental room.
Simeon.
Apes.
Well, yeah.
And where was the door that?
It was located deep inside of a cat cave near the Tottering Rock range.
Monkey.
In Daggerheart? It's in.
For now, she's just gonna keep this information tucked away while she kind of tries to figure out.
The name Simeon
Simeon.
does perk your mind. You know it to be an extinct animal that once free-ranged in the Calisha. They were known as greater and lesser
Kill 'em all.
simians. They're no longer... I mean, they've been extinct a long time, so it is a little strange that you're seeing this word. Not really sure why this
World's version.
exists, but it's definitely interesting.
She's just gonna hold on to the knowledge for now.
Okay.
Go back to the library once the opportunity arises and just keep looking.
Because Hans is spending another partial day working on the skiff. He now knows how to make it go a little bit faster.
Before both of you would leave, just and me going out, I'd be like, oh, by the way, in case you guys need this, Bardic Inspiration.
Okay, so they each have a bardic inspiration. The skiff can now go a little bit higher and can go a little bit faster. Hans has learned that the flow of the luminary energy can be enhanced by adding more luminary shard dust to it.
Enhance.
There's a maximum amount that the engine can manage, but he brings it to a point that he figures out how to make it go faster and how to go a little bit higher.
He figured out a way to get like something that angled it, yet makes it go higher. and
Puts a
it's
blower on it.
It's more about the raw nature of the amount of.
He's adding more
luminary dust.
horsepower.
I mean, technically, you could overcharge it. That risks the engine exploding. But there are ways to make it go even faster,
Don't
but you
do
take
that
on
because he likes exploding our ship.
then you take on engineering risk by overtaxing the luminary engine.
So there's like a lever now. that
Nitrous.
goes dun, 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 dun.
In your fucked up world, maybe.
Oh. That's what the skipper sounds like. to me
Yeah.
now, just
Pop
higher, faster.
goes the party.
I'll try to prod Maggot awake to see if he's going to be useful at all.
What do you want? Oh, hey, boss. What do you want?
Yeah,
What's up?
We're thinking about heading up to the Tottering Rock.
Tottering Rock. What the fuck's out there? It's just more lizards and dinosaurs that like to eat us? What do we-
No, Chief Snaggletooth came.
Oh, that old drifter. What are you letting him onto the
Found
property
a-
again?
Found a new cave that was not there before with a big iron door in it with writing on it.
Ah,
He brought back the writing or what they tried to copy it. Right?
well, you know, goblins are
No.
idiots. They're not like me.
So if you're able to move, we could use your scouting skills otherwise.
All right, fine. I gotta go take a shit first. Okay. This big old pot belly of overeating. Like, he's got that zombie belly. He totters out to go kind of prepare for the trip.
And I'll go upstairs and search for a password.
Okay. Give me investigation.
Nat 20
Plus
plus
19 probably by now with your insistence on intelligence.
investigation plus 9, 29.
Your
If I have it, I have it. If I
Did you
don't, I
keep that book? Did you keep that book you found the previous night? I think you did, right?
Yeah, I would have held on to it and just read it until I fell asleep. And
Wait,
then
you went to the library.
But did you keep it?
She's at the library too.
I would have kept it on me.
She's not there yet. She's. This would have been the previous night,
She's
so
doing
you would
her
have kept that
spycraft.
book
Yeah,
with
I
you.
would have kept it on me until I finished reading it.
Did you fall asleep in the library? Or did we give her a room?
I think she
Oh
has
no,
access to a room.
This is after me talking to
After
Maggie and everything. I went up there. This is after
Yeah.
I talked to Maggie.
But
Just
yeah,
now.
no.
I'm going
Well,
over.
not-
Right.
yeah.
But I'm
He's
trying to
talking about during the
retcon
long
something
rest.
Yeah.
because she read the book, but we never really decided whether or not she kept it.
Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I would have kept it.
Okay.
And I probably would have fallen asleep reading in the library.
Okay. As you search your many volumes, there's one particular book that's missing,
Hmm.
and it triggers you. You get this sudden headache, and then you realize a very important book was read by someone, and it hadn't been returned to its spot. You begin to examine the library, and sitting on a table stand. Which book was that again? That was Stargazer. The Stargazer biography book is sitting on a table, which tells you someone has read it already, and it triggers a memory. Stargazer. Anytime anything Stargazer related, you feel compelled to understand more about it.
Stargazer are important and dangerous, right?
It depends on what you discover, but you feel this strange, compelling urge to learn more about why this book is here, who read it, what's happened, who would know to read this. It's just, it's almost like a kind of brain rush of obsession of information that overwhelms you.
Okay.
And you begin to frantically begin to pull apart the library. That's when you arrive at the threshold of the library door. There's a frantic Taki. He is like moving cushions, getting furniture out of the way. He's pulling books off shelves. Who read this book? Like at the top of his voice, he's frantic as he's holding in one hand the Stargazer book that you read, and he seems out of control and out of his mind currently.
She's probably going to be a little frightened by this and just... I could probably leave him alone right now.
Give me a stealth check as you try to sneak away.
What's your passive?
Passive is 13.
Okay. You have 50-50 odds here.
23.
23. So, like, you just kind of tiptoe backwards. You gently push the door closed, and you make the softest steps. Where are you going from here?
Outside.
Okay.
She's just going to go outside. Like, I don't think I want to be in the house right now. I'm just going to go explore the gardens a little bit. Ponder over
as you
experimentation room.
As you are out in the gardens, a kind of familiar rattle in your pocket is the sending stone, the stone of connection. Your matriarch.
Take it out.
As you pull it out, you watch as the small astral projection of the matriarch squirrelkin forms in front of you. They're wearing their vestiges of the leader of the squirrelkin community that you're from. Well, what more have you learned, Amazonia?
It's even been 24 hours. Nothing. So, I'll explain to her about the Stargazer biography and what I read in it. And I also, there was this visitor who came by and they found this door with these weird engravings on it. And it said Simian Experimental Room?
Ah, Simians.
Yeah.
You found the first piece of the information we're looking for.
I did?
Find that place. Look inside. Remember, we only need a small amount of the genetic material to bring them back.
What are the Simians?
It's not important to understand. Just find the material as planned. Bring me that sample. I need it.
Okay, I'll keep looking.
Good.
Oh,
Now, the one that you follow, Takit, is he still wearing his mask?
Yeah, he doesn't take it off ever.
Yes. Our suspicion of him grows. We do believe him to be the destroyer of worlds, but we're not sure which version of him this is.
I'll keep an eye on him, but he's been very nice to me.
Yes, well, I have discussed this with other elders of the different clans. We are convinced that this is the creature that destroyed our world some many centuries ago. And we know that if this is him, we must figure out what he has done and find the rest of our kin. These simian creatures once inhabited our world with us. We believe that genetic material must be in that laboratory. inside that vault that you have discovered. We just need to understand a little bit more, and we can finally have our revenge on his kind.
I'll keep looking. I don't know. He seems really nice, but I'll keep looking.
Fools. Don't let that demon creature fool you. Him and his kind have traveled the astral sea, burning worlds to a cinder, trying to find the true understanding of arcane power. They destroyed our world many millennia ago. We must understand the root of his power if we're going to succeed. Remember, that is the mission.
Okay, I'll keep looking.
Good.
Also, do you know anything about pink goblins?
Pink goblins. I've never heard of such a creature.
Oh, they're. Antonia knows that pink goblins are humans.
Humans, yeah. Their reference term for humans.
Yeah, I keep calling them pink goblins.
Yeah.
I heard that they're also called humans.
Yes. We believe this Takit to be of human ancestry. We believe at the core of his existence is the very nature of the power that destroyed our world. This is where we need to find the understanding of who this Takit is. The veneer of this illusion that interacts with you is pure bullshit. This is not the real creature. The real creature burns with a maniacal hate for all things living. I can assure you, this is an illusion, a visage, something that they have somehow managed to keep themselves hidden with. We must peel apart the onion's layers and get to the center.
How convinced would Amazonia be? Because she's under
the geese.
She's under the geese, and she rolled really low.
I mean, you kind of look at the astral projection and you look at the stone. You
Okay,
just
Grandpa.
feel compelled to, like, you're just wrong, and you hang up the stone.
Okay.
Like, you're not even sure why you feel compelled. And the astral projection, wait. You know, and it shatters out of existence as you put away the stone.
Okay, boomer.
Yeah. Exactly.
Still wants to find out more about this whole Simeon thing, but she's like, there's no way he's the destroyer of worlds. That's baloney.
That's silly.
As soon as I am able, I'm going to scream for Nellie to lock down the estate and
Yes.
and lock down the estate. Something is missing.
Of course, sir. Right away, sir.
Gather all the servants in the kitchen as soon as possible.
All?
All.
The cat. Absolutely, sir. Before long, within about half an hour.
Where's Maggot? Maggot.
Yeah, what do you want, boss?
Did you see anyone sneaking around the library last night?
Yeah, everyone. Everyone touches everything.
Everyone is who?
Oh, I don't know. I was
This
in there
is
reading my daily
serious.
magazine. I
This-
don't.
Do not fail me. Did you see any of our party or any of the servants in the library last night?
No, I didn't see anyone. But here's the thing, boss. I can. If we kill everybody, it's easier to ask the dead questions than the living.
This is true.
We just kill everybody. We
No.
just ask. No, you sure?
Not
I've been wanting to kill Talia for a long time. Just a little bit of killing Talia. A little bit.
no,
No,
not this time.
I'll go.
Talia.
Yeah.
Can Baruch. You can read objects, yes? Read objects?
I have like
Read
half
objects?
my
Looking
face painted.
Yeah, it's
I'm
like
in
half
the middle. I'm in the middle of
disguise.
using a disguise kit
Okay,
to make.
object.
Hey,
No, read objects.
hey guys, Takit's gone
Uh,
crazy. You guys feel
two.
it. Maggot kind of
You
sneaks
know the
up
history
down
of
the
an
hallway.
object and who's handled it recently. Do you have anything like that?
What is that spell? It's not identify.
It's
Finding the history of the spell.
That's
Legend lore.
Legend lore.
oh fuck! I just learned that.
Hey, you know this, right?
Fuck.
No.
Fuck! I'm
Well,
I
legend
don't-
lore.
No,
The
Legend
legend
lore is
lore is
more about the
deeper.
history of an object, not
Not-
necessarily what
no
interacts.
about the recent. Yeah. Like read the aura of its who's handled.
I mean, technically, if you do scry, you could hold the object and scry on whoever the last person was that maybe had the object. That gives you a low level of success because you don't know enough about the person who had it, but you have an object related to the
But
person
I don't
who
have
had
scry.
it. But you currently don't have the scry spell available to you.
And do we have any beasts that can track by scent?
Yeah, we do. And before Maggot goes, I hit the back of his neck and I cast more fun. The bloodhound.
Who handled this apart from me recently?
Sniffs it, then goes over to Baruch, lifts his leg, pisses on Baruch's leg.
I smacked him with the book. Knock it off. This is serious.
Okay.
Ugly blood.
Yeah, it's a green bloodhound. Yeah.
Yeah, it goes off into the hallway, sniffs the air. Maggot's polymorph form kind of like down to the hallway to the front door, bursts through the front door, heads over to a garden. As you're in the garden area, you hear a howl of a dog.
I'm gonna run away just because it's a dog.
Yeah, you just start scampering away. And before long, through the undergrowth of the garden, there's this big,
While they're
ugly,
start
kind of
presenting.
drooly hound dog in the garden, snuffling at the air. And then through the bracken of the garden, you watch as Takeda arrives, and then Talia, and then Baruch arrives. And they're all staring at this dog who's...
Would he remember who it was if you turn it back?
starts to lie down to go to sleep. Maggots.
Who was it?
I didn't give you consent to do that.
Who was it?
I'm a bard. I don't need consent.
It smelled like a farm animal. I don't know.
We don't have any farm.
I mean, it kind of smelled like a rat.
Stay here. Keep an eye on the
I'm not
on
a
the
dog
garden.
anymore.
I'll be right back. Go inside and see if Nellie has rounded up all.
All dozen of the staff members, the hobgoblins, goblins, a couple of the kobold raptor caretakers are there. A thin, gaunt-looking bugbear is there. They're all standing there patiently as you come in, Nellie. They've all been assembled, sir, for your request.
Is there anyone that has been up in the library?
The library, sir. No one. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't even think they know what a library is.
Very well.
I mean, the cleaners do, but that's just because they know that.
Is this everyone in the building? In
Sir,
the
is
estate?
something.
Yes.
You do realize, of course, you're.
Yes. Is this everyone that is in the estate currently?
Sir, yes, they're here, but do you realize your original requirement for me hiring people, even during Bronco's time, was illiteracy? No one here knows how to read, sir, per your request.
Understand.
Do you know?
You keep the house on lockdown. The servants may go back to their duties. I will return.
Very well, sir, very well. You go back out, and they're all in the garden milling around. No sign.
Where is Amazonia? Assuming that's a proper.
As far as you know, she's inside the building somewhere. I mean, you remember her sitting in the shadows of the sitting room listening to you guys talk to, when Snaggletooth got there. You remembered that she requested a copy. She made a copy of the words that were scrawled and gifted over by Snaggletooth. And that was the last time you remember seeing her.
So she's not hiding anywhere. She just ran away to get
Yeah.
away from the dog.
Yeah.
Does she hear any of this?
No, because she's ran off.
Okay.
And as you run off, you find yourself like
You try to find some-
running through the raptor pens and running away from what was bothering you and your concern. And before long, you're in the back side of the raptor pens where like two young goblins are kind of cleaning the raptor pens. And like they see you kind of scurry around the building and you're like breathing heavily, looking back towards the howling noise that stopped, as you no longer hear the howling. And one of the little goblins like, hey, oh, are you okay? You seem something trying to get you.
I don't know what it was. I think it was like a dog. It was going to eat me.
Oh, that's okay. He goes back to mucking the shit. Dogs try to eat me all the time. I mean, we're little, and I think they think we're food. They're not very smart. You just got to avoid them. Now, you live in the big house, don't you? We saw you come home a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what's your job? What do you do up there?
I followed Kate around.
Oh, why do you follow it? He's weird.
No, he's very nice. He's very nice to me.
Oh, okay. You should probably get back with your kind then. We have raptor shit to move all day.
All right.
All right.
Do you think it's safe now? Do you think the dog is fine?
Sure, it's gone. It'll be fine.
Okay. Jill will just kind of start wandering back, but she
Avoids the
another
garden,
path.
takes a different route. Okay. Boss, what am I looking for? Don't you turn me into a dog again.
A book is missing from the library, and I need it desperately.
The book was there.
It's there.
You have.
You have
It just triggered you.
someone
Figure out who read this book.
You're just trying to figure out who read it.
read it.
Boss, it's a book. What are you worried about? Look at you. You're purple and veiny. Kind of look like a dick. Everything okay?
Does that mean that you want to see a big purple veiny guy?
Do I remember that Amazonia was in the library with me last night? Or did I only go up there this morning?
You only went up there this morning. You were down in your basement all night. Maggot brings up his crossbow.
Wait,
And now you can see
I got you on
the
this.
bat circling up
Okay,
above.
I got you on this.
Maggot?
Polymorph.
Well, polymorph still requires a save.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I failed maggot save.
Yeah.
But what is it, wisdom or charisma? I think it's wisdom, right?
Polymorph is-
Now, your rat doesn't turn into a rat.
No.
right?
No.
Are you sure?
I don't think it does.
That is a
Does it smell like
wisdom
Belfry?
save.
What's the
Do
DC?
I know it's coming?
19.
19.
Does it
Okay.
smell like Belfry?
You would be casting, and he's familiar with casting.
Yeah.
So you could counterspell it if you have counterspell.
Ew, you tell me what I'm doing to do.
Probably not. Probably not.
Well, no, but he knows what someone casting a spell looks like. He's gonna know you're casting a spell.
But I can make an assumption. Okay, this is resist for now.
As he's
Love
lost,
this coin.
Yeah.
Hurry.
Toxin.
do you fail it on purpose,
I
or do you want to
yeah,
try
I
to
don't
stay?
resist.
Okay. And there's a little dachshund
Little wiener
dog, little wiener
Full
dog
on, like
on the
not a
ground.
mini dog, but full on, like.
Yeah, just kind of lounging there.
No, he takes off.
Can I smell? Track?
Give me perception with
Smell the
advantage
bush?
as you see if you can pick up the trail.
18.
18. You eventually follow a trail out to the raptor pens, and there's some goblins there kind of mucking out the raptor pens as they see a little dachshund hound come around the corner. They both pick up their
Front part
shovels and start coming at you with a shovel.
I follow.
Yeah, you guys come around the bend to see two little goblins holding shovels about
No.
to pound the dachshund. Just as you guys come around the bend. Oh, sorry. We were hungry. They go back to mucking the pen.
Water. It's it out of air. It doesn't.
I mean, if I can find that spell book that's
He said they were hungry.
ritual spell book of just like traveling wizard shit.
They watch
Great
you like
food.
magical apparition of food and water, and they go,
Earth sauce.
"Oh, thank you very much." And they put their shovels down. They go over to the pile of food and water and just start
Parquet.
digging into it.
It creates
The key,
45
find-
pounds of food and 30 gallons of water.
Okay.
Okay.
Sniff around.
Yeah, as you
You
sniff
have a-
around, there's a trail here, but no obvious like footprints or anything. And you realize that your scent kind of fades because whoever it was, they walked through the raptor shit. Like they walked through the raptor pens in a kind of roundabout way, and you lose the scent in amongst the raptor scent. And you no longer can identify the scent.
Bark. Bark.
Do walk away.
Yeah, look, I was like, oh, can we eat it then?
No.
I try to bite his leg.
You feel this little dachshund mouth go leaping towards your leg.
You want me to roll?
Yeah, improvised attack.
2.
Two.
Nope,
Yeah,
I'm
you
horrible.
move your leg and snaps at the air near your leg.
Mark.
How's that, maggot? Maggot. Just watch this.
You know, you watch as a crossbow bolt strikes the dog in between the eyes.
You probably just had
You watch as the dachshund dies and then immediately turns into Tequila. Is that what you wanted, boss?
Fuck you.
That's what you wanted, Maggie.
I thought he wanted to not be a dog anymore. I thought that's why he was barking at.
You
Uh,
could have just headbutted something. I'm not a dog.
Oh, either way.
Find out whatever recently tracked
Was
through
he
the pit.
Was he a dog?
I mean, I could try.
Use your tracking skills.
You know what?
You're a track.
I'll get right on that.
Thank you.
As the tension of the day begins to
No,
settle
I'm waiting
down.
for him to start doing it.
I mean, to be honest, Maggie doesn't care. So he kind of, I already had him do a performance roll of 24. He's just going through the routine. He's like, he's going through the shit. He's flying around with his bat. He's pretending to do an excellent job. I don't know, boss. Can't find anything. Don't know what to tell you. I tried. Did my best. Don't we have someplace to go? Did you mention somewhere that we got to go somewhere?
That's my anxiety. Am I still
It's gone. It's level up.
You have the book.
tomorrow? It's too late.
And so
Is
he
it
wasn't
past-
even
is
trying
it
to
past
hide
noon?
that she-
I know.
No. Is it past noon?
No, it's not that late. It's still mid-morning at this point. All this took over an hour to kind of play out.
So I go back so I can try to work on the disguise.
Mhm.
Work stuff out.
I mean, are you being deceptive or
Yeah.
performative?
Like I'm trying to make it look probably deceptive to be very orc-like.
Okay, definitely deceptive.
Okay.
So give me a deception check with advantage because you are using a disguise kit as part of your process.
I don't suppose
I'll
you
just
could
find out.
so we can use a book with that.
I don't have scribe prepared.
Well,
Well, not to describe, but by asking the stars.
Okay. After he's done, I'm gonna
Okay.
try augury.
Okay.
So that was a 5.
Three questions.
So 14.
No, I think it's a simple
okay.
question. It could either mean woe or was it? What's the other one? One.
Results by a specific course of action. Wheel,
it?
woe,
Yeah.
wheel, and woe, or no.
Right.
Is it unreasonable?
What'd you get
for
for
me
your
to-
deception?
14.
14. Okay.
is it
Just 'cause I don't know
unreasonable for me
how
to
the-
deduce?
The attunement's going to work right now. I haven't had
That's
a chance to really.
Okay.
What I usually use is I thought it was an orc, so that's what I always had my illusions going to look at.
Yeah, that's fair.
My anxiety, is it still important for me to know, or do I
It's
not? care
gradually
anymore?
fading, almost as if the feeling was temporary to induce you to react the way you did, and now it's kind of faded.
And I'm like, why the fuck did I do that?
Yeah, you're like, why was I so worried about that? And the memory's almost gone.
Is pass wall in this book?
No.
Does it reference another book with pass wall in it?
No, not particularly. So you do an augury on.
What do you want me to ask?
Yeah, it's not important.
I'm gonna take the book. I'm gonna cast it anyways.
No one listens to you, even though you're always in charge.
Should I find out who read the book?
The level of woe that courses through your blood almost makes you nauseous. It's the most
Hand it back.
visceral response you've ever had.
I'm gonna hand it back to him and say, "Yeah, no, it's not important."
Ivar's gonna be so mad he missed today's session.
Yes, yeah.
Well, that's a
Whoa,
negative.
wait,
That's
you're
a
a
negative.
pink goblin? Do you know what we can sell him for?
That's a negative.
Oh yeah, well, it was very
That's,
nice.
yes, bad things will happen.
Yeah.
Don't find it.
Okay.
Mainly squirrel stew.
So finishing up your mid-morning routines, before long, the skiff is brought about towards the front of the estate.
After that, I packed up and got stuff ready to go.
Maggot is on his bat per usual. The equipment is being prepped. Hans and Alva are currently prepping the ship. It's
You noticed that the door was locked.
by about midday is when the skiff is gradually lifting off the ground to head towards the tottering rock.
Okay.
It's good traveling weather. I think that's where we'll leave it tonight. It's a good finishing point. As you guys are now on day 5 since your return, and you're heading towards Tottering Rock to investigate this strange site that the
Or-
chief did.
It'd be day 5 from leaving at
Correct. Day 5 since leaving Atmo. Correct.
Does the
So,
impetus
second
for
day
me
of our
to
return.
learn about the Stargazer stay with me?
Still lingers.
Okay, I keep the book with me then.
Okay. All right, everyone. We will be back here next Tuesday for Acquisitions Incorporated, as we're about to wrap up their little adventure that they're having. They've only got 2 more sessions left before they have to pick a new place to expand in. So they'll get to build all new characters once again. So, everybody, be safe, be kind, and don't forget,
Play games!
Good night, everybody. I totally forgot to run the intro before we started. I just went right to go live.
Go live with us talking about
Go
insects.
live.
Goodbye.
Go live.